Good evening, Philadelphia. My name is Coach Devin Buchanan, and welcome to Youth Uncut. We are here to provide our youth a voice. Youth Uncut is a show that was started to give our youth an opportunity to express themselves and talk about things that are most important to them. I'm excited to bring three of my mentees here today to talk to you on the topic of, is education truly preparing our youth for their future? To my right, I have Corey Williams, a 7th grader in Philadelphia. To my left, I have Grace Castle, a 9th grader in Philadelphia. And at the end, we have Amir Mackey, a 10th grader here in Philadelphia. We're excited to bring you guys here with us today an opportunity to have our youth discuss the things that mean most to them. So guys, I'm gonna present this question to you. Do you feel as though you are truly prepared for life with the education that you're given here in Philadelphia? And when you're thinking about this, I really want you to think of, are you prepared? Do you feel like your education is truly preparing you to achieve the dreams that you have set for yourself? I'll pose that question first to you, Amir. What do you think?
I feel like if the way that the school system and everything going right now and the education I'm getting now, I feel like I'll be successful. Once I hit 12th grade and get out of school, I feel like I know everything that I need to know and everything I need to do to further improve my life and what I want to do after I get out of school.
Awesome, awesome. What do you think, Grace? Like, I know that you attend a local high school in Philadelphia. Do you feel like, as a new 9th grader, as a freshman in the city of Philadelphia, that you're being prepared to achieve your goals?
Yes and no. Yes
Yes
because
and no. Okay.
I feel as though I'm learning what I need to learn to prepare me, but no is because teachers, they see like the students are checking out, so some of the teachers are starting to check out as well.
Oh, so what do you mean check out? Can you tell me, like, what's check out mean?
They see the kids aren't really prepared, or like they're not giving it their all, so they're like, if the kids aren't giving their all, why should we?
You know, I actually agree. You know, as a teacher here in Philadelphia, I've seen student motivation be a big issue in the classroom, whether it be students really wanting to give their best effort to things that they want to do, or if they're really giving their best effort to things that they're not quite sure is going to get them to their dreams and the things that they actually want to do. So that's a great question. Corey, I turn it to you. What do you think? Do you feel like you're truly being prepared with the education you're receiving?
I feel like I am being prepared because, example, as math, you learn like contracts and money, and that can help you in life. But not really, because it's not really teaching you life lessons on like what you should do when bad things happen or when you succeed, or if you have failure. School isn't teaching you that if you fail, you should keep trying. It's teaching you if you fail, you do it or you're gonna get penalized.
Wow, that's an interesting thought. Is there anything that you were thinking about, specific instances, and maybe not something that you dealt with on your own, but what do you mean by schools teach you that if you don't succeed the first time, well, you're failing, you're a failure? What do you mean by that?
They don't want you to succeed, they're making you succeed.
Okay. Elaborate on that a little bit more.
All right, so
I want to make sure our audience completely understands what you're saying.
So, like, say you get something wrong, but the whole class got it right, and the teacher wants to advance in the lesson. She's not really, like, some teachers do, I'm not saying all teachers, but she's not really gonna help you a lot. She's just gonna, like, try to give you the answers, and you're not understanding.
Yes.
But you have to.
I understand that. So, you know, as a teacher, I really understand the importance of ensuring that your entire class is understanding and getting the information that they need. But I also think that there's a lot of teachers who are under the microscope and under a lot of pressure right now to feel success in the classroom, particularly in urban education. As an urban educator for over 10 years, I know that there are requirements for us, that there are evaluations that take place, and that puts a lot of pressure on us teachers to ensure that young people like this are getting the information that they need. And in turn, we're putting that pressure on them. And so I do want to, talk about some of the specific issues, some of the struggles. And before we came on air, we talked about some of those things. What are some of the struggles? And you spoke to one specifically that we struggle with is all of the things that you have to juggle in school. So maybe we can talk about that is how do you guys juggle all of the things, being an athlete, being a student, being a family member, sometimes having to take care of the family, and then also having to have a social life. Like, how do you guys juggle all those things?
See, this is when after I leave school, I gotta travel. I gotta go to Pickett, and we gotta run track. We don't leave track until what 6:40. Now I gotta take my time, go all the way home. I don't get home till like 8 o'clock.
Okay.
Now I gotta eat dinner. I gotta wash clothes. I gotta wash. I gotta go all that. Then by the time I get done, it's almost 10 o'clock. Now they expect us to have a good rest to sleep. I still gotta get up early, 6 o'clock, and travel all the way back to school. And I just don't got time to like, I gotta hurry up and do this homework. And we get homework for every teacher. We got 8 periods out the day. Especially if you're in AP, I got AP history. They expect me to read 15 pages every night, but I got track. Now I'm about to start working. How I'm supposed to read those 15 pages at the textbook, then do the 8 pages the math homework, and then I got to read the book about literature. And now it's like it's getting hard because I got to think about, okay, I got to set something aside.
Yeah.
Do I go to work, or do I just got to stop running track this year?
Excellent. It's a lot to juggle. I mean, I know that you're also into a lot. I mean, how about you? How do you deal with those things?
For me, I don't even know. Like my social life, I don't really socialize because I can socialize after I become successful. For me, I'm going to worry about what I have to do first, what can get me to become successful and everything. But I just gotta focus on schoolwork stuff first, and then everything come last for me.
So, and the one thing I say is I think you have some goals, and I know that you wanted to talk about this as well. I know that you're a goal-oriented young lady, so one thing that I heard you say is you want to worry about the social life after you become successful, and that's because I know personally you've set some goals in your life, which we'll talk about as well. How about you, Corey? What do you think?
To piggyback off what she said, like you can't even be a kid because you have to worry about everything and succeeding, that you can't even like have real friends. Because you gotta worry about schoolwork, gotta worry about after school, and as they said, like a job. And it's hard to juggle all these things. And one false thing can either not be a good choice for you, or have like bad grades in school, or you have no way to make income.
That's a great point. My father always said to me, decisions have consequences. Every decision you make has a consequence, and that consequence doesn't always come right away. It may come longer, it may come later down the line, later in your life. And so it's always important to remember that when you make a decision now, there will be a consequence that comes from that later. It might be a good consequence, it might be bad, but something is coming. One thing I want to remind you guys of, and I've always said this to my students, is that you are the sum total of the 5 people you spend your time with. And so in school right now, it's extremely important that you're surrounding yourself with people who have your best interest in heart, right? Like, I know for a fact that you guys are involved in school and you have people that you spend your time around, but those people don't always have your best interest in mind. In fact, I would actually go out on a limb and say that education, like you said, has made people selfish. It's put a level of competition in the classroom that makes students have to be better than the next person rather than feeling like we can work together. And so I will say, I would love for you guys to be very choosy. Think about the 5 people you spend your time with. So I'm going to ask you, y'all spend a lot of time with me, so I'm going to put myself in that category. But let me ask you guys this. They say it takes a village to raise a child. What about your village? Who's in your village?
My village. So I got a lot of people in my village. At first, when I tell you I did not want people in my village, because I would have people tell my mom certain things, or I don't even know how to explain. Like, it takes a village to raise a kid. I mean, your mom may not be able to do for you, but you got somebody else that could care for you. Your mom might not be able to do this, but you might have other people in that village that can help you out in certain ways. Just people close to you really can't.
And I would even go on a limb and say those people a lot of times are your friends. When you think about how much time you actually spend with your parents versus your peers, it's extremely, lopsided towards your peers. You spend a lot of time during the day, that quality time. And then in the evening, a lot of us aren't eating dinner with our parents anymore, where we spend a lot of time on social media. And so most of the influence you get are from your friends. And that's why I say when you're at school, be choosy who you spend your time with, okay? Make sure that you are being, not just being choosy, but thinking about what type of friendships am I fostering on a daily basis. That's one thing I think that school is, it's caused a little bit of a problem for our kids nowadays, is that school is not making it readily accessible for our kids to develop meaningful relationships. I know for a fact that a lot of these students go from class to lunch, back to 2 classes, and then back on the bus without an opportunity to really foster strong relationships. And so when I think about school and what the purpose of school is, I think education is one, but character development is a close second, and we're getting really far away from allowing our kids to develop that strong character that they need. So when we come back from our next break, we're going to talk about some of our goals that we have from our kids, some of the things that they are working towards. Corey himself actually owns a t-shirt line, and he's sporting that today. And so we're excited to talk to him, and really find out, is his education really giving him the skills and the knowledge he needs to further his goals and further his t-shirt line and really reach the goals that he has for his life? And then for other 2 students, really, is their education preparing them to reach their goals and also do the things that they really want to do in life and ultimately be the best versions of themselves? We'll be back soon here at Youth Uncut.
According to the Mayo Clinic, exercising has stress-busting benefits by bumping up your endorphins and improving your mood.
Is learning how to code or make video games and websites.
Not only can you post videos online, you can make your own.
It's learning about leadership.
Together we are Tech Girls.
Hi, my name is Coach Devin Buchanan, and welcome back to Youth Uncut, sponsored by the Focus Youth Network. The Focus Youth Network is a nonprofit organization that provides innovative educational and recreational opportunities for youth and their families, centered around 3 main pillars: wellness and nutrition education, character development, and post-secondary success. Today, we're working on the character development piece and talking to 3 of my mentees today. To my right, we have Corey Williams. To my left, we have Grace Castle and Amir Mackey. And today we're talking about, does education truly help our youth to reach the goals that they have for their lives? And in this segment, we're going to be talking about some of the dreams and the goals that our youth have today. To my right, we have Corey, who is the founder and owner of a t-shirt line or an apparel line called Pass the Competition. And I know that Corey has been working really hard to build this brand around the city. He has done an excellent job just being an ambassador for his own brand and really pushing it. And so I wanted to talk to him just about some of his goals and whether he really feels like his education is preparing him to reach those goals as it pertains to his t-shirt line. So Corey, tell us about your t-shirt line. How did you come up with it? And really talk about the things that you've learned as you started to develop this brand.
Hello, everyone. My name is Corey. I'm a 12-year-old entrepreneur. I started my own t-shirt brand. It's called Pass the Competition. And it meant striving for greatness and striving to be the best in everything you do.
Okay.
And I came up with that because I run track, I'm on a swim team, and I'm on a football team. So I'm super competitive. I want people to never give up and always try your hardest in everything you do.
That's awesome. So the brand is, I would say, a lifestyle brand that pushes people towards their goals and working as hard as they can to achieve those goals. Now, I know for a fact that I've taught a number of 12-year-olds, and they're not even close to thinking about starting their own t-shirt brand. And that's really what led me to think about this question today is, does education truly teach our youth what they need to know to pursue their goals and dreams? And so, Corey, I want to ask you, outside of education, or do you feel like education has helped you with your t-shirt brand? And then if not, where did you get the education and the know-how to be able to start such an amazing brand?
I guess the education would help me in like the money, like math and numbers. But it wouldn't really help me like hustling and like getting it on my own and like telling people my story. Because I had a mentor who like taught me how to hustle and how to have say something to someone and tell someone your story.
Awesome. And so telling your story is what has helped you to start that brand, and you don't feel like you would have gotten that
No.
in the classroom?
Classroom, nah.
Can I ask you why? Why do you feel like you're not able to get those things, get that? Where's the disconnect there?
In the classroom, they're just trying to teach you things that will help you academically. They won't teach you things that will help you in the street or in a job. They're just trying to help you in numbers, reading, science, and social studies.
Yeah. You know, too often, when we think about how our world is progressing nowadays, much of what we do is electronic. Much of what we do is on social media. Much of what we do involves engaging with other people. And I think that's one of the disconnects that we have with education these days is that we're not teaching our students to connect with other people. We're not teaching our students the value of building a bridge and fostering a relationship with other people. And so I want to talk to you, Grace, about some of your goals. We've known each other for quite a long time. I've known you since you were a little girl. Yes, literally a little girl, and now you're a young woman, and I know that you have some of your goals. And you attended the Focus Youth Network fashion show, and then I just heard from you that you're now interested in what is it, modeling now? So talk to us about some of those goals. Is school preparing you for that? And if not, how are you going to get the information you need to achieve those goals?
I could say school is preparing me for math, like to handle my money, reading the contracts and whatnot. But other than that, I wouldn't say it's helping me at all. I have to learn it myself.
Okay. Where do you go to seek out additional information? Like, if there's something that you don't know, where do you go to get that information?
I'll ask my mom.
You ask your mom? That's the go-to person for
That's
you?
That's my mom or my brother. Like,
as an educator, and I hope that you guys can attest to this. As an educator, for you guys, I've always tried to be a different type of educator. I've always tried to give you guys the knowledge that I felt we don't get in school, the things that I didn't get myself. When I think about what it takes to really develop relationships with other people and how I got to where I am, I really don't know that school provided all of those skills. I think a lot of those skills came from interacting with people outside of school. Amir, you and I have known each other for 4 years now. We've developed a great relationship. We've done a lot of things outside of school together, a lot of different programs, and I know that you're a motivated young man. But I also know, you have a strong will to do well. Do you feel like school is pushing you in the right direction right now?
I feel like if the way that I'm going now, I would feel like my dream is to become an astronaut or work for NASA, an astronomer, anything that that dudes the stars, because I really like going above and beyond, literally. And so like school, if I keep going the route that I'm going, I will do good. I'm gonna do what I want to do, and which is work for NASA. And I'm just like, I'm just.
I mean, so again, like I said, you're a goal-oriented young man, and NASA is a truly big goal. But I'm not so sure that we're prepared in education to help to cater to each of our young people's goals, right? Now, you talked about going to NASA. Now, clearly we have science classes at every school, and there's certain things that you have to do to get a good grade. But do you feel as though your teachers are clearly locked into your goals, your dreams, and are able to help give you the necessary steps to get there?
Yeah, there's a handful of teachers I always stay in contact with when I need advice or I feel like I can't do something. Those handful of teachers tell me, oh, I can do it, or just study harder. Don't forget your faith. Just push yourself. If you feel like this book is too hard, read a few pages each night, or do this a little bit, then go back to it. Take a break. So it's like, all right, if I just focus on what they said, I can never fail. Or if I do fail, I know I can do it again and just keep trying. So if I mess up one test, go back to the next test and do better what I did. If I feel like an answer too hard, take a break, put the pen down, go get some water, come back and just blow the test out of the water.
Exactly.
And if I just do that every time, there's no way I could fail.
You know, I think so often we aren't really given the necessary skills that we need to progress. We're given knowledge, this blanket knowledge. And this is really what I was given, where I was getting to today is, as an educator, sometimes I feel like I'm just part of a system. Sometimes I feel like I am in the classroom with my hands tied because there's so much information that our young people need to know. And as an urban educator, I think of, in particular, our African-American students, our people who are in this city who are being told that, hey, if you do this, then this can happen. If you go to college, then this can happen. But that's not a guarantee. It's not a guarantee. In fact, we are often telling our kids to go to college and get this debt without a clear way to get out of debt, without a clear guarantee of how to get out of that. Which is why I'm so impressed when I see young people like Corey, who has started his own t-shirt line, because he's well on his way to, one, providing a life for himself and staying out of debt, right? And so he can turn this into not just a company, not just a business, but a future for himself, right? And we all have to set goals. Corey, what are some of your goals that you have moving forward for past the competition? I know you have a t-shirt, you got fanny packs, you got hoodies, you got all types of stuff, man. Tell us about this.
My future plan is for everyone in the world to be wearing past the competition.
Everyone in the world, Corey?
Yes.
Oh, I love it, man.
And everyone in the world striving for greatness and striving to be the best. I think there's a lot of bad things happening in the world, and a lot of our youth is doing bad things. I just want to be the one who's remembered as doing something great, as telling everyone to never give up and always try your hardest. You will always succeed.
Did you learn that in school?
No.
Where did you learn that?
From my parents and my mentors.
From your parents and your mentors. So many of us try to do this thing called life on our own. So many of us try to reach our goals. We have these goals and dreams, and then we're trying to do them on our own. And as an educator, I really feel it's my responsibility, and I would hope that many of our educators feel this way, but to do our best to establish a strong relationship with every student that we come across, with every individual that we come across. That's really our responsibility. You know, when we've said that, you know, our goal is to be an educator, really what we're saying is our goal is to build a future. Education is simply a means to building a future for yourself. It's simply a means of providing opportunity and offering value to other people. You know, when I think about my students here, when I think about our young people, and really this is the future, we call this Youth Uncut because this is really our opportunity to share our experiences, help other people to learn from the things, from the mistakes that we've made. You know, they say history repeats itself. And so, you know, when we think about what education was in the mid-1900s, it hasn't really changed. But our society has changed enormously. And so when I think about y'all and what your goals are, I then think of, well, how are we going to get there? And is education, is the place that you go to from 8 o'clock to 3 o'clock every single day, truly providing the things that you need to meet those goals? And so, you know, I thank you guys just for coming out, for being a part of this, and for sharing your voice. And I hope that, you know, as other young people hear this, as we continue to share a little bit more about ourselves, that we can positively affect the lives of other people. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys for watching Youth Uncut, sponsored by the Focus Youth Network. Guys, remember to focus, because finding ourselves creates unlimited success. And we truly believe that providing our youth with extraordinary experiences will produce extraordinary individuals. Thank you very much, and we'll talk to you soon.